Hey, my name is Katie Pijanowski, and I'm a certified life coach and motivational speaker, and I'm here to help you unlock your true strength so you can create the life of your dreams. I teach you my best tips to master your mindset, create confidence, and empower yourself to take back your life. It's your time. This is the Mind and Body Strong podcast. Hello, my friends. How are you? I am doing so well. I just finished a yoga practice, which ended always with, most yoga practices will end with a shavasana or a meditation. And I've really been leaning more into that in my personal experience with meditation, yoga, slowing down, offering this space to come back and really communicate with my body, see what my body needs. And there's so many great things that I've noticed just about the cueing of yoga from multiple teachers. Of one thing that I've picked up that I've started to use in my classes specifically is saying, go to what's accessible for you today. And I love that because it really gets rid of this expectation that our bodies need to perform exactly the same way every single day. And I think oftentimes in the fitness space, we can get into that mentality. But what I love about that saying is it really kind of eases your mind and helps you recognize that the poses that you might have been able to do yesterday, might not be accessible today. You might be tighter. You might just feel stressed. You might be holding on to different emotions in different parts of your body. And those poses might not be accessible for you today, or movements, whatever it might be. And I love that because it really gives you space to really check in with your body and really do this body scan to find out, what is it that my hips need, which is what I've been focusing on primarily, is what is it that my hips need to heal? What is it that they need to release? Like, what is the message they have for me? And I think it's just so interesting. And after I popped up out of this yoga practice and this meditation, a thought came to me that I wanted to share with you. So this is very off the cusp. Haven't really thought about it much rather than just being in the meditation. And it was this thought of answering the question, what is it that you want? What do you want? And oftentimes when we hear this question, we might respond with material things like, I want a new car. I want to live in this house in, X place. I want a relationship. I want more money. And many of us will respond to this question of what do you want with some of those things. And I watched a video many, many months back from the recommendation of my dad, and it was by Michael Singer called What Do You Want? And it was a really fantastic video, and I highly recommend you go watch it for yourself and share your insights with me. It was him kind of bringing you through this process of the question, what do you want? And we often answer all of these things I just mentioned. But what he points out and what came to me after this meditation is that what we think we want is all of these relationships, external things, material things. But the reason we want them is because of the feeling we predict we will feel when having them. So if we have more money, what is it that having more money, what is it that you perceive you will feel after you have that experience of having more money? Is it feeling more secure? Is it just freedom, more opportunity to take travel, to donate, to just buy yourself nice things? And really identifying what feeling you are trying to achieve by having the thing that you want. And this is something I keep diving back into. With my coaching practice, I'm always getting my clients to come back to this, what we call outcome frame of what is it that you want, and getting them to kind of get into this space of, okay, if this is the result that you want to create in your life, what is it that you would feel? What would you imagine feeling in that space? We kind of reverse engineer. What would you need to think in order to create this result? But the feeling is what is going to drive the actions that get us there. And I think the feeling is what I'm recognizing in my own personal experience is the most important part of that. How we feel is so, so important. I actually have a quote above my bed that my dad shared with me again. It says, feel good and watch what happens. the feelings that we want to experience, that we are holding ourselves back from experiencing, really, this is what's really happening. We're holding ourselves back from experiencing the pleasure and joy and freedom and security that is actually accessible to us right now. And I really want you to just take a moment to really feel into that. And something that really helps solidify this to me is thinking back to previous times where I've wanted things and then I've received them. And you might have that little, burst of excitement and whatnot, but then you might go back to a similar pattern of wanting more. And this is something I brought up in one of my coaching groups that I'm a part of, and other members of the group are also experiencing this, where I know one of the things that I always say I want is more money. But then I know myself enough to know that even once I have the money, the thought pattern loop of not enough is still present. It's why people win the lottery and then go broke, because having more money is never the problem. Same as having the quote unquote ideal body that you want isn't the solution either. I guess that's the better way to put it, is the solution. It's not the solution. The solution is helping yourself to navigate the thought patterns and the beliefs that are actually keeping you in that cycle. Because even if the external things were given to you, you will find your way back to what is most known, which is your patterns of beliefs and thoughts. And those are what are going to keep you in that same spot. So it's just so interesting. And I wanted to come on here to do just a really quick little podcast episode for you to ask you that question. What is it that you want? And I want you to really, if you're taking this podcast and you're applying these things, which I highly encourage that you do, because knowledge in understanding logically of things is not the answer to changing your life. It's really feeling it on an emotional level. I really want you to take this to a journaling experience for yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you want? Be honest. It can be those material things. Start there. Then from that place, what will having that do for you? Or what is important about that? And keep peeling back the layers with these questions. Ask yourself what you might feel when you have this experience of having what you want. Is it joy? Will you feel freedom? Will you feel excited, happy, confident? All of these things, right? And then also ask yourself, what is it that you might have to let go of to have that experience? I think that's always a fun one. And oftentimes the things we have to let go of is old ways of thinking that have kept us in the same experience that we keep having on repeat. So letting go of the things that have kept us in the same place can be a really freeing process. So I want you all to just take this episode and apply those questions to your life and really get down to what are the feelings that you're actually trying to generate in your life. And the key here too is also recognizing that the feelings you're searching for from the external things that you want are actually always accessible within you. And oftentimes we have just set up the conditions to keep us in the same place of victimhood, which I will be completely honest. Those are things that I constantly have to work myself through, is being a victim and complaining and finding how I actually enjoy complaining about things. These are things that I still deal with as a human being, as all of us as human beings will experience. So I just want you to take that time to really recognize what are the feelings that you're actually trying to achieve, and how can I actually bring more of those feelings into my life today? So if it's joy, is there something that I can do or be or give myself that will bring that feeling of joy right now with the things and resources and the people that I have available to me right now? Instead of waiting for something on the external to be handed to you, which was a very long process of experiences for me, and to some extent I'm sure is still a pattern that I'm working through of waiting for this quote unquote permission. And how can you give yourself that permission to be able to just have more of that feeling in your life today? I promise you, this, just being able to do that simple process alone is going to open up so many doors. It's going to open up so many breakthroughs and help you recognize the power of your mind. and how being able to be aware of that is so, so important. So I wanted to bring that to you as a quick episode, as something that was on my heart. But I also want to hear from you. We are nearing very close to 100 episodes of this podcast, which just fills me up. I can't believe it's been over 2 years since I started this journey. And I'm just so thankful to all of you out there who have been listening in, who have sent me really kind direct messages or talked to me in person and told me how much this podcast has helped open and expand your mind and change your life. And that really means the world to me. And I'm just continuing to just feel into how this podcast is going to continue to evolve and progress. And I love hearing from you guys, your experiences, what you want to hear. So make sure that if you do love this podcast, leave a review. Let me know what episode really stood out to you. What are the things that you're taking away and applying to your life? And what have you seen happen? Those things make me smile from ear to ear. It is the reason I do this, because I am only sharing my human experience so that we can all just be in communion together. We are all humans having a human experience, and there's always so much to learn, which is so fun. So let me know how you guys are, what takeaways you're having, or tag me on Instagram. You can direct message me there. I love that. And let me know what's going on in your life. How can I help you? How can I help support you? Would love to be there for you. So with that, hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are listening to this podcast in the world. Sending you love. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Mind and Body Strong podcast. You are what makes this movement and message possible. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend, a coworker, a family member, or take a screenshot and share it on your favorite social media platform and tag Mind and Body Strong. To learn more about coaching and courses to help you take your journey to the next level, visit mindandbodystrong.com.